Jim, a few more questions, then we'll get out of here. This one was sent to CornyDriveThru@gmail.com from Pete in Providence, Rhode Island. I recently heard comments by The Undertaker saying that he wished today's wrestlers would live their gimmick a little bit more. I would extend that, though, to the wrestling companies as well. Growing up, I watched wrestlers literally choke people out when it was even hinted that wrestling was fake. To nowadays, when they're holding a press conference immediately after an event, telling us how it was all just a show. What happened to kayfabe? I was hoping you could speak a little bit about this point, but let's go back to the first one, because actually, I didn't realize it was going to go so off here.
Yeah.
The Undertaker, his comments about guys not living their gimmick, guys not protecting their gimmick, and who better to speak about that than The Undertaker?
Well, yes, and even when people weren't so smart to every inside working of the business, they could still tell bullshit from not bullshit. And if the more legitimate guys, the guys who they could make the comment, well, say what you want, but that guy's mad. Or the ones that would say, like Terry Funk and Johnny Valentine, I can't make them believe wrestling is real, but I can make them believe I'm real. The ones that went the extra mile, that seemed the more legitimate, that were the more believable in terms of, I think that guy's really like that. Those were the ones that drew the money, because it was about making people believe as much as possible that the person that you are selling to them as whatever, a Canadian lumberjack or a goddamn karate expert or whatever the fuck, that's who they are. And the best talent went the extra mile to whether it was their gimmick or whether it was their angle. If Junkyard Dog in Louisiana, when the Freebirds blinded him, if instead of going home and sitting in his apartment with the drapes drawn for 2 months so that nobody would know that he wasn't really blind, if he'd been going out every night to the fucking club or going to the goddamn Golden Corral and saying, boy, what a great performance we put in on TV with them blinding me. It's going to be a great match. They wouldn't have drawn 30,000 people in a Superdome. The fans wouldn't have been sending him $500 a week in ones and fives and change because they felt sorry for him because he was disabled. That's what you had to, if instead of meeting at Jerry Calhoun's house the night before the fucking match to go over the goddamn thing in his living room so nobody would know about it, if Jerry Lawler and Andy Kaufman had gone out in the Coliseum and got in the ring about 5 o'clock day of the show and let all the fucking janitors see them working out the pile driver, would we still be talking about that 40 years later? No. It's shoddy workmanship, lack of professionalism, lack of dedication, and the aspiration to, instead of wanting to be a top main event wrestling star, want to be a goddamn entertainer, an actor, a reality TV star, and play a multitude of parts, that makes all these fucking jack-offs and dipshits come out and even if they do a performance that you could actually buy into, they will immediately do a press conference or send out a picture on Twitter with their arm around the person they just tried to anally rape with a chainsaw. Said, oh, we made such great art together. Fuck you. That's why that Undertaker said that, because the guys because they have been told that they're entertainers and actors and show business people and television performers. That's how they act like. And that's why nothing registers anymore, because nobody believes the shit. Every once in a while, you get somebody like Brock or this bloodline thing that, even though it's preposterous, the performances have been good or whatever the fuck, and then that person gets over and makes a lot of money. Because in the middle of a fucking bowl of fruits and nuts, they're the goddamn real deal.
People knew The Undertaker wasn't really a dead man. They knew he wasn't really an Undertaker, but he still did that. So if a younger...
And a 7-foot tall, 300-pound fucking guy that looks like that doing that shit is kind of goddamn intimidating.
I was going to say to a wrestler today, if their argument is, well, everyone knows it's fake, why should I protect my gimmick on social media or anything? Everyone knew The Undertaker wasn't really dead, and he did it, and it benefited his career. Wouldn't you say? The mystique around The Undertaker, never doing interviews, never doing anything, actually helped him. When he started talking a few years ago, now you realize, why, he's a nice guy.
Yeah, and then and he only started doing that when he realized that the jig, as they say, was up and his time was done and he was retiring.